Agerman, Flowamatically speaking.
The ghetto's got me crazy. Ghetto's what made me a future for a baby. The 1990 shades, how they raised me. The beat game paid me. The ghetto's what made me. The ghetto's got me crazy. Ghetto's got me crazy.
What's up, y'all? You've tuned in to Flowamatically Speaking. I'm Agerman, formerly of the rap group 3 Times Krazy. Today I'm going to talk about the song that I wrote called The Ghetto Got Me Crazy. And this song is found on my solo album, Success the Best Revenge. I released Success the Best Revenge November 2nd in the year of 1999. A lot of my fans still listen to that album. They still love that album to this day. They love my timeless flow, Flowamatic 9. They love it. But I do have to say that, I'm an artist that have grown since then, and I don't use no profanity in my songs, in my raps. I don't use profanity anymore. My music is, I speak inspiration. My music, I inspire, I uplift, and I edify all people. Children can listen to my music and they won't have a problem. Elderly people can listen to my music, mothers, grandmothers, grandparents, and even, all people, mid-aged people, rappers, everybody listen to my music because I produce music that will help people because I have a love for people. Ghetto Got Me Crazy was on the Success the Best Revenge album, and it was also featured on Real Talk 2000, 3 Times Krazy. That was our third. I do have to say that, I'm an artist that have grown since then, and I don't use no profanity in my songs, in my raps. I don't use profanity anymore. So in the song Ghetto Got Me Crazy, I was basically writing about my point of view of life. And many times back then, when I was younger, I've experienced getting drunk, waking up, hanging over from partying all night, smoking Black and Milds, you know what I mean? And also, this is what I've always done. I've honored my relationship that I have with my mother. Then I went on to explain how day by day living in the ghetto made me think that the ghetto was trying to kill me. You know what I mean? And I thought that. I thought it was a reality. I thought the ghetto was trying to kill me, and it was my reality. And that's why I wrote that song along those lines, is because then I saw life from a viewpoint of death, losing homies in the dope game due to gun violence. I lost so many people due to gun violence that was close to me. But I was still writing raps in the midst of all of this while pursuing my career as a rap artist and also being afraid for my life many times because of so many people was being killed around me. But back then, the good news, God always protected me and made sure I was safe. I was only 22 years old then. I'm now 49 years old. And so I grew a lot in life. But back then I thought that the only way to make money was grinding and selling dope because that's all I knew back then. But all of that changed when I got caught by the police. And when I got caught, my first case, my mama cried.
When I got my first case, my mama cried and wondered why I was up out here living that street life, selling dope, smoking weed. Jail got me.
Cried and she wondered why I was out there living that street life. You know what I mean? Because my mother raised us to, not to be in the streets, not to be grinding and stuff like that. She raised us to be good children, me and my siblings, and so she wondered where I got all that street stuff from. Now, I wouldn't say everything from my ghetto experiences was negative because it was not. I was in the ghetto when I learned how to keep the faith in the ghetto. You know what I mean? It was in the ghetto that I learned street smarts. It was in the ghetto that I learned the value of Black people. It was in the ghetto that I learned how to count. You know what I mean? It was in the ghetto that I learned how to survive. It was in the ghetto that I learned about love in the hood. It was in the ghetto that I learned that God will protect me from all kinds of dangerous things. Right in the midst of danger. You know what I'm talking about? God he protects his people. He always do. You know what I mean? And I wrote that song from the viewpoint of my life that I was living then. And I often speak of other people's life experiences. Something I said in that song that will last forever. That's what I think. I said, gotta hustle for the scratch because jobs ain't hiring. All they do to the black folks these days is laying off and firing. See, that's so many people experiences these days in life that they live, or have lived a hustling life. You know what I mean? Where they can't keep a job. They won't hire them due to maybe, a criminal background or due to just not understanding how to get a job, but so they live the life of a hustler to survive. Remember those days like it was yesterday, working on the album Success the Best Revenge.
Riding in the big body Benz, counting my ends, hollering revenge. They want to see me and they want.
God made a way, you know what I mean, for Agerman. And I'm just here to say, anyone that's suffering, you know what I mean, from being incarcerated or suffering from mental illness, suffering from grief or losing a loved one due to a tragic situation that happened in the ghetto, suffering from being in the environment of the ghetto. I want you to know that this is not your ending. You don't want me to tell you why? Because God will always make a way of escape. You have a future that's ahead of you. Amen. So I want to just encourage you, you know what I mean, to check out the song. I've came a long way in my music career and in me as an artist and developing songs. But check out the song. It's on Success the Best Revenge album. Just punch in Agerman, Agerman, Success the Best Revenge, and it's called Ghetto Got Me Krazy. Ghetto Got Me Krazy. Check that out. You're going to see that I came a long way, from that life story, The Ghetto Got Me Krazy, that I wrote until, my new album that I put out called Slang Talk, which is dedicated to doing positive and gospel rap for the young adults, and the elderly. And I have a new album that's getting ready to come out called Flowamatic 9. That's coming out real soon, so be on the lookout. If you want to book me, just email me bookings4agerman@yahoo.com. That's bookingforAgerman. So at yahoo.com. So that's bookings with a Z. Thank you so much for tuning in. And this goes out for all of my fans that love that song, The Ghetto's Got Me Krazy. I love y'all.
Agerman, Flowamatically speaking.